What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of our City Skylines building Hillsage playthrough. This is episode 9, and in today's episode we're going to be continuing to work in the downtown district. More specifically, we're going to completely renovate the Olive District. To be a little more specific, we got access to some new unique buildings, and a lot of these have a good amount of height to them, which I think will do a good job in breaking up the skyline in our downtown area. Also, they all have entertainment value. So that's good because that'll pull tourists to this area. And we're going to renovate the Olive District mainly because of Central Station being right here. And so it's closest to our main transportation in and out of downtown. So we also have access to a couple different building styles, and so we're going to implement some of those as well throughout the city to kind of break up the how everything's the same like building style. So the very first thing we're going to do is change this style. I think we'll go with Modern City. It's going to deconstruct some of the buildings, but that is okay because we are also going to take out quite a few of the buildings. We're going to start off by dezoning all the residential because this is no longer going to be an attractive place to live. There's going to be a lot of traffic and noise as well. Also, going to empty out the cemetery. Fortunately, there's only 90 people because we're going to move the cemetery out of Olive District as well. And this is going to become very tourist-centered area. We're also going to rework a lot of the streets. So we're just going to go ahead and take out some of these streets to begin with. And by some, I think actually I'm going to take them all out, minus these around the cemetery. We'll wait till that finishes emptying and we can move that. Oh, and I didn't think about our bus routes. Let's get those fixed real quick because that can become an issue. Just get that connected back up for now. Let's see if that'll do it. I don't know why it's still saying there's no. There's connection now. Look, there's even people there. Okay. Maybe we need to actually. Let's pull up that bus route again. That one's just the downtown route. I think we just have to take this route out entirely and then replace it. So we'll delete that. Yeah, everybody's not too happy about that. That's okay. Actually, I think we'll wait to add that back in. Okay, the cemetery is emptied. So we need to think about where we're going to put that. We're definitely going to need 2 cemeteries at this point because we're taking that one out of a centralized area. So I think the first one, we might see if we can fit it right in this block right here. So let's grab that. No, not quite. I don't really want it to be the first thing that you see in downtown. Okay, let's just drop it for a second and figure out the best place. I don't think it's going to fit in this block either. I'm trying not to take out too much more residential. We don't want to see a huge downtick in our residential population. It would fit there next to a park, which isn't the end of the world. Can't get it under the highway. Won't fit along there. Well, I guess we could put it right here. I don't think that'll be too bad. And this is residential, which is good. And there was also, I believe there was a crematorium. And we can maybe squeeze that back in there. Not without taking out another house. Which don't particularly want to do that. We can take out these power lines that I see. Let's grab the crematorium. Oh, we can just put it right there. It's close enough. And checking on the death care. Maybe that power line was important. Oh no, yep, we just disconnected power. I should have been thinking about that. Let's run temporary power line. We'll just do that for now. That should connect everything back up. Okay, good. Yeah, we don't want that to. We don't want to lose power. Okay, anything else? We have a garden and a playground, which we can put in this park for now. Do we have fences along here? We do. You know, actually, I don't really want to take out those fences. We can, it's not the end of the world, we just take out the park. Okay. Now, I think the rest of these buildings are all zoned buildings. So let's dezone whatever's left. So we have a pretty blank slate. Okay. Alright, so we do need to go ahead and let's just take out the rest of these roads, which, taking out that path, I don't necessarily want to remove the path. So maybe let's draw in a temporary residential path. Because we don't want people to stop walking through here. Just for now. It's not pretty, but oh, and get that. Okay. So we have this huge empty area. Now we're gonna have to change the way we've been doing the grid slightly based on the size of the buildings. So, but I think we'll be okay to continue a street that comes off of Morgan. And we're going to do these with trees. I think we'll go to about, actually let's just take it, let's go 3 block lengths there, and then if that'll connect, need to go, let's see if we can get that pretty much straight up. Like that, and then that street will continue down through. It's going to be at a slight angle, like that. Okay. And just throw this path back in here. Keep our pedestrians walking. Good. Alright. And then we'll also, okay, I think we might, instead of pulling one across here, we might start to deviate from the grid just a little bit. So some of the buildings I want to put in here, these office buildings aren't super tall, but they'll definitely break up the skyline a little bit. This downtown hotel is pretty cool. I think that'll be good. I'm just going to place it for now so we remember that it's one of the buildings we want to include in the Olive District. So another one is this high-rise office building. I'm just going to put that there. I think, yeah, this one's not too tall. There's one of these buildings is just insanely tall. This one's taller than the observation tower. Yeah, that one's crazy. We might use this one here on the water. Might be kind of a cool asset. And this one is also pretty large. Okay, let's see. A resort hotel. That might be about all of the taller skyscraper type buildings. Let's just quickly go through. We do still have the Sea and Skyscraper. Let's check the parks. Yeah, I think that's gonna be about it. Which that's good. That's 3, 4 if we do the Sea and Skyscraper, and then we'll go with the office skyscraper. And maybe another one of these like office buildings. I think that one's not very big at all. I do think this one would look cool somewhere along the water here. Okay, and then let's do this office building. Okay, so those are the, I guess those are the like the key buildings that we're basing this area off of. So we need to think about the best way to arrange them. Let's pause real quick because I think I'm going to see if we can clean that street up a little bit. Maybe something more like that. I think that looks a little better. We can zone some commercial along here. And okay. So I think we'd want one of these. Let's do this high-rise office building. So it can be seen as you are driving in. Obviously, you'd see the skyline from all these. And then we need to add in a cross street, which I do think. Let's see how it'll work if we put in that street there. Because that still gives the pedestrian option. This office skyscraper is one of the bigger buildings. So maybe we kind of center it right there. You know, we might actually, let's go a little closer. And then with the company headquarters, we'll go same block, but opposite side. So then that's filled up pretty well, but they're not blocking each other. Even though this office skyscraper totally covers up the high-rise office building, but that's okay. Alright. Then we have the downtown hotel, which I think actually works really well right there, because it's since it's a hotel, you'd want it close to the main transport center, and with it being there, people can walk from the train station across the bridge, and they don't ever even have to cross a street. So I think that'll go well right there. And so then we need to put some commercial around that building. We could even put some commercial behind Central Station. Okay. And might need to add in a couple streets just so we don't lose like all of this. We wouldn't be able to develop any of this land, but I don't think, unless we curved a street through here, which might not work too well. I don't know. It looks kind of cheesy, but that way we don't waste all that area. So we really want to be able to zone as much in here as possible. So these are both like office buildings, so I think it makes sense to do some office in here. Even though going for a tourist district type, I think those will look good to have some of the office buildings mixed in with the large offices. This is also an office, so let's put that one there and get this other cross street. That'll just about split this block down the middle. Do that, and then curve it a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll work pretty well. Okay. Then continuing, we want to zone everything along here as commercial. Oh, and then we also, oh, I should have done this before we zoned the office. We want to add paths because we want this to be a heavily trafficked pedestrian area to help save on private vehicles. So let's see if we can add in a few paths. We'll do something like that and add in another one on this side. Kind of breaks up the blocks, and it gives people the option to walk as well, which is good. And we'd want one through here. We might need to add in a street though. This is kind of an awkward block size. Let's see what would happen. And I'd put, if we put a cross street here, it would add in some intersections really close together. But I don't think we want to break the grid up like this necessarily. I don't know though. I don't think that'd be too bad. Let's do that. And we can do walking path like that. And another one there. Okay. Since that's another office building, let's just finish off zoning everything in that block as office. I'm not sure why that building despawned, but not a problem. Let's make sure that this goes all the way back. Those are going to change to the different style of building. All right. So these have already, wow, these have already had quite a few visitors, which is good. Now we need to finish zoning over here. And we might add in maybe a couple other of these unique buildings. Got some pretty cool restaurants, some small office buildings. That's the hotel. These department stores, which will not fit in the block anymore. That's okay. Electric car factory, nanotechnology center, research center, robotics institute. Oh, a television station. I think that would fit really well in this downtown. Let's put it there. Do office, a little bit of office there, and then a lot of commercial. So I'm not entirely sure what this building is, like what it's, if it would be commercial use or office use or whatnot. So I think we won't zone anything there. Maybe we'll put a park or two around it, because I kind of feel like that'll fit better in with this area. Not a playground. Small park won't fit. We could do, let's do a tropical garden. And I don't think a fishing island. And we could do a plaza with picnic tables. And then we can do some more landscaping to help fill in some of these empty spaces too. And maybe we'll zone behind here. We'll zone that as office. And then center that a little bit. Fill in around here. We can change up the path structure a little bit. And give them options on how they want to get over here to this tropical garden. And that way that area doesn't feel as empty. I don't think we'll put a path here because they could just walk down the sidewalk. It's not that far. But we could do some fences. Let's just find a good fence to go along here. It's probably just going to be the park fence. And this will help prevent us from zoning anything over here too. And it adds a nice little bit of detail. Let's do some over here as well. And just a little right here. It'll snap to the, no, didn't like that. Here we go. Looks nice. Maybe do some here just to match. And why not along here as well? That looks alright. And let's throw in some trees because it looks super sad and empty. Is that zoned? Is anything going to spawn in there? We'll put a tree there. Do a couple oak trees. Not too much, just a little bit to fill in the empty space. Do some along this plaza, help keep down the noise from all those emergency vehicles that keep driving by, so that way you can enjoy a nice peaceful afternoon over here in the plaza. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and then over here, over in the shadows, let's think. What do we want to zone behind this building? We could put a shopping center in here. I think that would work well. Let's put it by the hotel though, if we can. We can't, so it's going to go there. And the rest I think is going to end up being high density commercial. I think those trees will disappear as buildings start to spawn in. And let's just fill in this empty space. Should make it feel a little more alive in there. Okay, looks like we need to fix the border of the district just a little bit. Awesome. Now that's looking way better than it did originally. It's looking much more like somewhere you would come visit if you came to see, or if you came to visit Hillsage. And then you've got the zoo really close by as well, still with some other tourist type attractions over here in the Riverside Market District. But the focus is going to be on tourism in the Olive District. So let's go ahead and reestablish this bus route. And I think we had the first stop right in front of Central Station. Let's take a quick look. So I think I'm going to move the Panda bus route stop back to there, because we don't want these bus stops to be too close together. I think that starts to put a lot of stress on this street here. Okay, so if you got off of Central Station and we're coming to visit, where would you want to go? Let's put a stop right by the hotel. Let's put it there. And I don't want to put a stop right on Riverside Market Street, or Riverside Market Road. So let's go to the next stop there. And let's put one here. And we'll also put one right here. And that gives pretty good walkability. And then it can come back around. And that one will be central to Olive. And actually, I think we can leave it blue. Yeah, we can leave that one blue. So hopefully that starts to clear up a little bit of the traffic that we have in this area. It's not terrible, but we'll keep an eye on that. Decent amount of people coming from Central Station, which makes sense. So let's take a quick look. See where a lot of these people are going. We don't need to see that one, or trucks. Basically, yeah, just private vehicles and pedestrians. This looks like most everybody that's driving from Central Station is pretty much going north. I don't know, we got some people who really aren't driving that far at all. which I don't understand why they drive instead of walk, but that's okay. Webb Street services a lot of areas. And I think Riverside Market Road looks like carries a lot of the traffic through downtown. Not a lot of traffic on Gray Street. Parker Street is seeing a lot of traffic. Okay, but like I said, the overall traffic is not bad, so we won't worry about that right now. I do want to see if we can smooth out this train connection a little bit. I just noticed that it's a little bit bumpy, so let's pause and take all that back a little bit. Get the train tracks. See if we can make that a little bit more smooth. I think that's a little better. And give lots of options. Plenty of space. I think that's a little better. And then maybe eventually we'll have these other train tracks going, but I don't know. We can extend them a little bit for now, just to add in something into this area. And I don't know if we could really do very much. This is a really tight connection right here. So let's actually see if we can clean this one up some as well. That way there's about a train length here to here, here to here. So between all of the different junctions. Oh no, oh boy. It took out our bridge. I did not think that was going to take out the bridge. That is not good. Let's get this bridge, hopefully. No? Okay. That train track is way less important than that pedestrian connection. And we used a different path. Yeah, now we have that weird intersection there, but that's okay. Because this, we cannot lose this path. This is a very important pedestrian connection. Okay. The Olive District is looking really good. Let's review the policies. We can leave recycling, leave recreational use, and free public transport. We'll do Parks and Rec here because it's a pretty high park and plaza area. Don't need to do any of these. Parks, plazas, and park areas draw 10% more visitors. Yeah, we want to bring a lot of people in. We won't do anything with taxation. We don't need high-tech housing anymore. I don't really think any other of those are going to help us. We have an issue here, what's the problem? Not enough educated workers. Well, I'm sorry. We do have the college over here, which only has just short of 500 students. So, anyway, I think this is starting to look a lot better. Hopefully some of these buildings will get a little taller as they upgrade. Maybe they won't. Because I was hoping they'd start to fill in this skyline, but we can mess around with that later, and maybe we need to do something with those different styles as well. Let's get rid of this deserted building. Now we still have a lot of demand for industrial or office use, which I think our best bet's going to be zoning industrial. Let's just go ahead and get a little bit of industry zoned. Because we want to continue to build our population as quickly as possible, so we can buy this next tile and expand our downtown along the river. And we need about, I think it's 48,000. Yeah, we need 48,000 population before we can do that. So one way I think we're going to work towards that is by upgrading some of our low density residential to high density residential. And so I think we're going to do some of that in Old Hillsage. I do want to change the style over here as well, and I think if we change it, it's going to deconstruct some of the houses. Maybe it will keep it for the vanilla style, but let's do a couple of these blocks that are along the river here. Change them over to a high density residential. Unfortunately, we might see a slight dip in population as we do this, because we are taking out quite a few houses. But in the long run, that'll help increase our density. And I think in this area is a good place to start doing that, because we have this pedestrian bridge, and we also have I think we have subway access pretty close. Yeah, right here. So we'll speed that up a little bit. And as we go, we might do some more. Let's do a tax relief for high density residential to help promote and help get people to move into this area, so we can push our population as fast as possible. And I think we might, did we get the, oh, we didn't do these around here. Let's get those changed over as well. We're going to leave the commercial as low density for the time being, but we'll get all of this zoned to high density. And I'm not doing these houses along the road, because I think sooner than later this street is going to be upgraded to a 4-lane road, and when we do that, a lot of these will be deconstructed. We also have this area around the high school in Emerson Square that we can zone. But we don't want to go too close to the subway. Also, I'm sure they would appreciate a nice path to get from the high school to the subway. But let's see if we can actually get those connected. Get that as close as possible. There we go. There, that gives some good access there. Let's throw in another one here. Maybe. There, that looks pretty good. And we can do that. And nothing around the subway station. Unless we maybe add in a little bit of commercial. We'll do a little bit of commercial and see what happens. Alright, so our population is still down, unfortunately. But that was to be expected. This has developed pretty well. 3 households, 7 households, 8 households. So we should start to see a rise in our population. We could also come over here to Coronado Springs. Maybe do a little bit more high density residential. I don't know, maybe not. It may just be time to start a new neighborhood outside of any of these areas, but we don't have a ton of space. We could do something along this street. What is this? Vermont Avenue. It has decent access to Cherry Square. It has not great access to downtown. You'd have to take this exit, go through Main, go all the way around, or go this way on the highway. Could also develop over here, do like a little rural neighborhood. What is the... Maybe that's what we should do. Just build a nice separated neighborhood. Give them access to here, and maybe they'll be kind of where the this oil mining district, maybe that's kind of where all the workers live. It's over here. Let's get a road going in through here. And the topography over here is kind of crazy. I think if we kind of go in between the two hills like that, that's not too bad. Lots of trees over here. It's kind of a cool drive. And now this isn't a cul-de-sac, it gives multiple access points, which is good. Okay, so we have this hill, which isn't great, and that other hill, which isn't great. But let's see if we can kind of build. It's gonna be tough. We could do a cross street here. Let's go here. But going straight up that would be kind of rough. I think we could follow this a little bit, but we don't want to get too close over here for if we expand downtown past the railroad tracks. Let's add in another access point because you don't want to have a giant cul-de-sac. Yeah, this is going to be kind of tough. Let's maybe take down a little bit of this this hill. And we have too much soil again. We can just keep dumping it over here. This is not super realistic. I can't imagine that somebody would come and tear down a huge hill like this just to build a neighborhood, but it's what we're gonna do. And we have too much again. Let's just dump some more over here. At least we know if we ever need soil. The city has a huge pile of it. Just so we have some space to build our neighborhood. Okay, we can work with that for now. And then we could also build, flatten out the top of that and put some stuff up there as well. So let's continue to build access into the neighborhood. We'll have that one, and we'll do a three-way intersection here. That follows along the base of the hill. And eventually it'll circle around. Connect it up. Gives us a little bit of space to work with. And this might be too steep. But we can work in this other access point. We'll just take it all the way back there for now. And actually, let's take that part of the road out. See if we can kind of follow this here. That's not too bad. And I guess we need to dump some more dirt real quick. Yikes. Oh, it would help if we used the right landscaping tool. Dump a bunch of dirt. Let's see about flattening it out over here a little bit. That was not what I wanted to do. That's slightly better. Having that intersection up there isn't the best, but that is okay. Smooth it out here just a bit. And that is a steep road, but that's okay. Alright, and we're going to start off by developing this area. Let's think about, we want to use as much of this area as we can, so get a pretty good grid going. Yeah, that might be an issue. I was worried about this. This intersection is really kind of wonky. And I don't know if we'll be able to do much about it. It is just really steep right here. That definitely did not do what I wanted. Okay. Let's just level this out a little bit and start over. For now, we're just going to add in this connection here. There we go. Let's get the grid for this weird little block here. Okay, before that, let's add in some cross streets. We'll do one there and there. Extend that one and that one straight up. And we could do one there and there. It's kind of a weird looking neighborhood, but that's okay. got good highway access, good access to downtown, and they're going to get pretty much their own everything. So we'll give them a hospital. Actually, we're going to do a clinic. And put the fire station over here. Next to the fire station, we'll do a police station. And they get their own elementary school, which we will put next to the clinic there. And definitely going to need to do some parks, but I think we'll wait for parks. We do need to get some water. Let's get all the water access going over here. And do a little loop. And one right here. Okay, that way everybody has water. There is going to be a power issue to begin, and I don't want to put any major power plants, so I think just for the time being we're going to throw in a couple wind turbines, but we're going to do some zoning before we connect power lines. So that's going to be commercial. Let's actually pause real quick. This will be commercial. Do a little bit of commercial there and here. That way there's pretty even spread. Let's actually do a little bit right there as well. And then everything else inside of here will be residential, low density residential. So get all of that. All right, and we need to add in parks for sure. So we can do, it won't fit. Let's do a large playground by the school. Put that there. And where's the dog park? Let's do dog park over on that side of town, or that side of this neighborhood. And I think that'll be good. So let's take a second and watch this develop. Oh, actually, before we do that, we need to make it a district. For now, I guess it's going to be called Holly Square. And Holly Square, let's do European suburbia, and they have recycling, high-tech housing, heavy traffic ban. We'll do a high-rise ban. And let's do educational boost here. Okay. Now we can take a second to watch this start to develop. Depending on our current demands for the different zoning types, we might not see super quick development over here. Yeah, right now we have absolutely no demand for any type of residential building. We are having some power issues because of that lack of residential. So we'll do that power line just as a short-term fix, because we are going to need to increase the industrial demand, or add in some to make up for that industrial demand. So we'll let that continue to develop, and we'll come back to our original industrial park. Don't really have any other options when it comes to specialized industry, so we might just have to add in some regular industry uses. We have got access to these new industrial roads. So we're going to do that for this area. And we might actually go ahead and upgrade all these roads, because these poor farmers have been driving on these same dirt roads for a long time now. So let's do a bit of upgrading. Slope too steep. Might have to go in there and... Oh, that is super steep. Oh my goodness. This is just another one of those hills, I guess. There are a lot of those little hills throughout this map. But let's give as many of these farmers an upgrade as we can. And these roads, they're cheaper than the regular roads, but they generate more noise, which that's totally fine for this area, because we don't really care about noise pollution, since the only thing that's going on is the industrial stuff, and they generate a lot of noise anyway. So, oh boy, we're kind of making a mess with these 4-lane industrial roads. Let's fix these. I messed up the zoning. Get that sorted out. And let's pause for just a second and see if we can fix these. This just looks so bad. I did not realize how steep these slopes were. And we're just going to continue to pretend like we don't know how steep the slopes are. All of that got dezoned, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And they'll come back quickly. Can make these industrial roads. So I think that means we officially do not have any other dirt roads in the entire community. And it only took 55 years. Let's look at this just real quick since we're here. That doesn't need to be a stop sign because there's no traffic coming from here that they need to stop from. So that'll help free that up a little bit. Let's go check on Holly Square. I think we can take out these power lines. Good. Nice. Still have lots of development opportunities since there's just not a high demand. Let's do a little to help with the commercial demand. And we're going to do that as residential. Over time this will continue to fill in, but since we have no residential demand, but that's alright. Things are starting to look pretty good over in the Olive District. Traffic's looking fine. I don't think yeah, 88. That's awesome. We have nothing to worry about. There may be a few places we could attempt to improve on, but for now I don't think we need to worry about it, as long as we keep it above 80. But for some reason our population has still dropped considerably. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. It may just be because of all the changes we've just recently made. We could add in some more industrial, because that'll add more jobs and hopefully bring more people. Because we're nowhere closer to 48,000, which is what we really need so we can finish our downtown along the river. So we have to buy this. Fix the road by the zoo and develop over here and everything. So, okay, no residential, no commercial, or no industrial, just commercial. So, why don't we zone some more down Main Street? And I don't actually think that I don't think that this noise buffer is necessarily needed. So we're going to eliminate it. I think I'm just wasting space. So we will do that. Nothing's going to happen immediately, which is fine, but at least it's there as an option in the future. Looks like we're having a bit of traffic here. I think that's good to be a light. There's a fair amount of cross traffic, so we'll leave that alone. Those buildings, those popped up real quick. Holly Square, it's developing pretty well. Maybe we need to do some more commercial. Let's think about how do a little pre-planning, because I think in the future we will continue these streets to develop this section here. So then for the time being, hopefully to help with the high industrial demand, we can do that. Or not industrial, but commercial demand. So our population is starting to climb slightly, which is good. 7,700 people live in the Riverside. Nobody lives there now. 5,700 in downtown. 5,300. Wow, 8,500 people live in Emerson Square. But it is a large area. Alright. So, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We will continue to do our residential push, trying to get to that 48,000 resident milestone. Continue to develop our tourism. Hopefully implement some tours in the near future. Get our parks to be more popular and stuff like that. But thank you for watching this episode. If you haven't already, check out the other episodes of this series on my channel. And if you would, I'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.